recording. Yes. So, so basically, Radhesham Prabhu has specifically asked me to please try and get Prabhuji's association for our group, because ours is a new group and we are all, slowly getting into a serious mode of Krishna consciousness. And last 4 to 5, actually, Prabhuji, just to tell about the group, we are around 5 to 6 years old. And you can say around 50 families were 16 round chanters, and remaining all are kind of getting introduced. We are now around 8 preachers within the group. We run 8 different bhakti rickshaws, and we live in a part called Gachibow in Hyderabad, which is mostly like a high-tech city area. We call it, like, big skyscraper buildings, and deserted from a spiritual perspective, I can say. And most of us work in IT companies. Few of them work in even airline. But all of us are qualified more in terms of IT, and in different companies like Microsoft, Infosys, and so on and so forth. And most of us are also returned from US. Surprisingly, it kind of happened like that. That we came back here and we joined. And some of us were introduced to Krishna consciousness in US itself, like myself. And then after some of them, after coming back from US, they got introduced in our satsang here. And we work under ISKCON Abbott's temple. ISKCON Abbott's, the Radha Madan Mohan deities that Srila Prabhupada himself installed. This temple is around 30 kilometers from here, so it's difficult for us to go there and attend the bhakti rikshas or be part of the regular services. But we are like a satellite center. From here we operate, and we give our reports to the temple on a periodic basis, a detailed report. And we also have initiations going on within our group whenever we nominate, and we are also part of the initiation panel. And together we devotees have also endeavored to serve some cows. So I have a small farm in which we have started this endeavor like 3.5 years back. We started with around 2 cows, and 1 cow, then 2, then 5, and now we are close to 60 cows. Yeah, and almost each family here takes care of 1 cow, 1 cow's maintenance monetarily, and also we visit there and do our festivals in that place. It's 35 minutes drive from where we stay. It's not too far, and we're trying to become cow conscious also. Learning a lot. We have realized that it's a big science to understand a cow. It's unbelievably very, very high. And so pretty much this, Prabhuji, and we are so excited that you are here. Rajesham Prabhu has personally been grooming us, telling us how important it is to hear from various gurus within ISKCON society, so that the inspiration is not lost. We want everyone to be inspired and get initiated at some point, right? And the right guru has to come into their life. And being in Hyderabad, we're not as lucky as Delhi, where so many sannyasis they come up, and so many big events happen there. Now we see some sannyasis coming, but still we pray. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj was here for some time. We did get his association, but I think at least for the last 2 years since Corona started, we have not seen Maharaj again. Yeah, so hopefully, at least virtually, we are able to get some Sannyasi Maharaj association. Like yesterday, we had association of His Holiness Bhakti Prem Swami Maharaj from Ujjain.
Wow.
And today it is Your Grace coming and addressing us. It's like a festival of inspiration for us, when we see all of you. And we can just thank you, Prabhuji, that even though you don't know us, we are too insignificant on the map of ISKCON, but still you have chosen to give your time, and we look forward to hear and get inspired and follow, at least try to follow anything that you mentioned to us today. So let's welcome once again His Grace Rukmini Krishna Prabhu with 3 loud and enthusiastic Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lilananda Prabhu. I am really excited, in fact, to see all of you so much since practicing Krishna consciousness sincerely. And you're so fortunate to be under the guidance of His Grace Radhesham Prabhu. He's a perfect saint, He's a real sadhu, and I really admire him from my deepest core of my heart. And it's my great fortune that I got this opportunity to interact with all of you. You have so many cows. And how big is your farm, Prabhuji?
It's 3 acres, Prabhuji.
3 acres farm, 60 cows, 50 families, 8 bhakti vrikshas in such a small time. Very wonderful, very nice. So I'm really feeling very much inspired. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Srila Prabhupada said that he has made a house in which the whole world can stay. We all are one family. And this is the, bright side of this corona pandemic, that now we can at least interact with each other on the Zoom. We can see each other. Otherwise, it would have been possible to even have your darshan like this. So it's very good. So thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Right, so we'll start. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhuvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitansha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much once again, Lilananda Prabhu and all of you devotees for giving me this opportunity to have some Krishna Katha with all of you. You all are so fortunate to be in the family of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada has given us so much, The biggest gift from Srila Prabhupada is his Srimad Bhagavatam Bhaktivedanta purports. They are our lifeline, And Prabhupada has made this system also, morning program, get up early in the morning, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, associate with devotees, and regular hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam every day, in all the centers of ISKCON. What a wonderful system, complete package of going back to Godhead. We have to just apply ourselves. That's it. We have to just everything is on the plate. We have to just apply. Just sincere application is required. We are so fortunate. So still, although everything is so easily available and so easily accessible, still we all know that performing devotional service in this material world is not so easy. What is your experience? Is it a cakewalk? Chanting 16 rounds, following 4 regulative principles?
No.
Not at all. Not at all. It involves a lot of struggle. As soon as we pick up our bead bag, now I'll start chanting. Maya says, okay, let me see who has come. So we have declared a war against Maya. Okay, I'll go back to God, and Maya will say, let me see, let me check you. Okay, very good. So many of you have come and gone, let me see. Who are you? But still, we also, because Maya is Krishna's energy only, and Krishna is certainly more powerful. So we have to take shelter of Krishna. But still, we all sadhaks are experiencing this day in, day out, that when we perform devotional service, when we are pursuing spiritual life, we face a lot of challenges internally, externally, and sometimes a devotee becomes really bewildered, what's happening in my life. So it's very interesting. And all of our acharyas have really given a very nice, they have, given a kind of predicted what kind of challenges we'll face at what stage of devotional service. Srila Vishwanath Thakur in his Madhurya Kandam has very nicely explained at each every stage, right from Shraddha to Prem. So the scientific explanation. And he says the most difficult stages, anyone can guess, from Shraddha to Prem, the most difficult, what is the most difficult phase?
Unearth and everything.
Unearth and everything, We are really torn apart. Our conditioning, our old sanskar, they pull us down. Guru Sadhu Shastra are pulling us up. We are really stretched. But still, we have to continue, keep on doing, keep on following the process. A day will come, we'll overcome this unearthability. And once one comes to Nishtha, then there's a smooth sailing. Okay. So I had discussed with Lilananda Prabhu, and he has suggested me very nice words from the prayers of Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse number 58. Very famous verse. So can I share the screen, Prabhuji?
Yeah, you can share the screen, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. So all of you can chant with me. Samashitam ye pad pallavam mahat padam punya yasho murari bhavam bodhirvats padam param padam 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 yat vipadam natesham. Okay. So yeah, some of you like to chant, please repeat. Unmute Lilananda Prabhu, you can please chant.
Yeah.
Samashritai.
Samashhritaye padapallavaplavam mahatpadam punyayasho murare bhavam bhudirvatsa padam param padam 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 yat vipadam natesham.
Thank you so much. Anyone else, please?
Samashritai.
Samashhritaye padapallavaplavam mahatpadam punyayasho murarehe bhavam budirvasta padam param padam 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 yadvipadam natesham.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So the translation goes like this. For those who have accepted the abode of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation and is famous as Murari, the enemy of Mura demon, the ocean of material world is like the water contained in a calf's hoof print. Their goal is Paramam Padam, Vaikuntha, the place where there are no material miseries, not the place where there is a danger at every step. Okay, purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. The translation is taken from Srila Prabhupada's commentary on Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2, text 51. According to Srila Sridhar Swami, this verse summarizes the knowledge presented in this section of Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Krishna's lotus feet are described as pallav, flower birds, because they are the most tender and of pinkish hue. According to Srila Sanatana Goswami, the word pallav also indicates that Lord Krishna's lotus feet are just like desired trees, which can fulfill all the desires of Lord's pure devotees. Even exalted devotees like Sri Narad, who are themselves the great shelter of the conditioned souls in this universe, personally take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. Thus it is natural that when Lord Krishna manifested himself as all the young boys and the calves of Vrindavan, their parents were more attracted to them than previously. Lord Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure, and being all attractive, the ultimate object of everyone's love. Yeah. So this is a very prayers sung by Brahmaji after the Vimohan Leela. And we all know Brahma is the CEO of this material universe, of this material creation. And this is just coming from his mouth, 4 mouths in fact. Brahma is the most intelligent creature of this universe. Samashitaye pad palav palavam mahat padam punyasho murari bhavam udhir vats padam param padam 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 yat padam natesham. So in this verse, Brahmaji, who is a secondary creator, so he is giving a statement describing the nature of this material world. Padam padam, Bhavam bodhi vats padam param padam, padam padam yat vipadam natesha. This material world is vipadam padam yat vipadam. At every step there is a danger. At every step, This material world is really a very, very dangerous place. Every step, anything can happen at any time. So unpredictable. 3 years back or 2 years back, we never imagined the pandemic can strike us. We thought we are so advanced scientifically. When I used to read in the purpose of Srila Prabhupada, pandemic, epidemic, I said, these are gone days. Now science has advanced so much. Now it won't happen. I mean, that's struck, so dangerous, so unpredictable. One small virus, one small virus. Everyone is totally bewildered. All scientific advancements, nothing can check this small virus. No one even knows what is this virus. No one knows. This is just a kind of a Corona Asur. What this kind of Asur is there? So much of mutation, Yes, he can take unlimited forms. He can change his forms. So no one can predict anything. It's one small sample. Anything can happen at any time. So dangerous place. We have this life insurance. Life insurance means assurance of death. Death is assured. Life is not assured. Death is assured. When Prabhupada went to West, they said, oh, India is a very poor country, very high death rate. Prabhupada says, no, death rate is same everywhere. And this pandemic has really exposed. It's really exposed the hollowness of this modern civilization, completely exposed. Such a dangerous place. And nothing is new in this material world. Nothing. Only thing which is new in the material world is the packaging. How it is packaged. Every time, because we all are eternally living entities, Satchit Anand. So we think all the conditions wherein I'm living, there should be happiness, and I hope for that, and all my plans, all my wishes, we wish each other well, we wish each other good morning, everyone says good morning, happy birthday, happy new year, everything, we all wish we should be happy, everyone should be happy, but it doesn't happen like that. Doesn't happen. Despite knowing all this, we all know the Maya is so tricky. Maya always keeps on giving us false promises of happiness. And Srila Prabhupada in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, verse number, I think, 37 or so, Prabhupada says, the last line of the purport, this so-called happiness of this material world is our real eternal enemy. This so-called happiness of this material world, it is keeping us eternally bound. The hope of this little happiness. Hum honge kamyab ek din. A day will come that I will be successful. A day will come I'll really enjoy this material world. Now, this hope is still there in all of us, because the desire to enjoy independent of Krishna is so strong, so deep rooted. Despite hearing so much, despite speaking so much about the nature of the material world, the desire to enjoy is very, very deep, highly deeply rooted. And we still hope against the hope. In some corner of this material universe, maybe some happiness is there. Maybe some. Let me try. And Maya always tricks us. Once Prabhupada was going on morning walk, and normally Prabhupada used to go in that one park only. He used to take clockwise. He used to go around clockwise. One day he started anti-clockwise. And the disciples started saying, Prabhupada, it seems everything is new. We are in a new place. Prabhupada said, rascal, the same. This is the condition of material world. Same thing, packaged differently. That's all. Same thing. Just clockwise, anti-clockwise. Just from different angle. But same thing is there. Same distress, birth, old age, misery, death, nothing, disease. Every same thing. Name of disease will change. One should always give credit to the scientists. They give very, very good names to new diseases. This flu, that flu, and all those. Hurricane comes. This hurricane. I'm really surprised how they invent the names. Very wonderful names. So this is only thing. New names are there, new packaging is there, problems are the same. Problems are same. Padam padam vyakritam. At every step, there's a danger. So, despite knowing all this, why we are cheated, why we are still hoping against the hope that we'll get happiness somewhere here. Okay. In fact, Srila Prabhupada is writing in one of the Bhagavatam purports, nothing of this material world is auspicious. Nothing. Sometimes, when we are in this material world, despite being performing devotional life, we also see that because we are living in this material world, we should have some status. I am in Grahastha ashram, I should have a decent home, decent car, decent furniture, and then it helps me in preaching also. Devotee should look opulent. That's it. So I should have something, something to show. I know everything is for Krishna, but still, I should have, that way. And nothing wrong, And other people will also say we should be practical. It's a practical aspect. So one should be practical. And we forget what is real practical. Real practical is this material world is a miserable place. This is a practical thing. And this is being impractical, like old times. I don't know whether you have seen or not, black and white TV. How many of you have the luxury of watching black and white TV? However hard we may try, we cannot get a colored picture in black and white TV. However hard we may try, we cannot get a colored picture in black and white TV. But still, the Maya takes us, no, you may try, you should try this, you do this, you make it. Karela juice, Karela is Karela, Karela is Karela. Whatever you may mix in Karela juice, it will remain bitter only. This material world is like this only. So, nothing in the material world is auspicious. Bhadr, abhadr, ei sab bhram. Ei bhal, ei man, ei sab manodhar. This is auspicious, this is not auspicious, this is good, this is bad. This is all manodhar, mental speculation. This is all a big illusion. Nothing of this material world is auspicious. So-called auspicious looking things or so-called inauspicious appearing things. Nothing is auspicious in this material world unless it is doubted with Krishna. It is inauspicious. This should be very much clear in us, And what is auspicious in this material world? Anything which reminds us of Krishna is auspicious. And anything which makes us forgetful of Krishna is inauspicious. What is vipada? Vipada is not only vatam padam vyak vipadam. Vipadam is not only material dangers. They are also vipadam. The real vipadam is forgetfulness of Krishna. This is a real vipada. In Vishnu Puran, it is very nicely said. Sahani cha mahachidram sa brahma sa vibrabham yan muhradat shanamapi vasudevam na chintayet. Sahani cha mahachidram. What is the biggest loss of the creation? And what is the biggest illusion? Sa brahma sa vibraham. What is the biggest loss and what is the biggest illusion? Yan muhratam kshanamapi vasudevam na chintayet. That moment, in one moment, if you are not remembering Krishna, that is the biggest loss. That is the biggest illusion. The moment we forget Krishna, we start generating karma. And we start binding ourselves. We are reserving so many births in future. The moment we forget Krishna. Krishna bhulya jeev anadir bahi mukhe atev maya tarade sansar dukhe. The real cause of all the miseries in this material world is forgetfulness of Krishna. Not the so-called miseries, corona, etc. No, they are not the miseries. If this corona is making our remembrance of Krishna very intense, it is auspicious. That's what the prayer of Kunti Maharani, very famous prayer. See, we all know. Vipada santuta shashva tatra tatra jagat guru. Bhavato darshanam yatsyat apunar bhav darshanam. I welcome the calamities because these calamities will make my devotion more intense. And if these calamities go away, I won't be able to see your lotus feet, Krishna. So let these calamities come upon me. Okay. Similarly, Lord Shiva says, it is said in one of the Puranas, Mahavipadya smaret madhusudana vipati tasya sampati aha iya shankara. In the times of calamities, if one can remember Krishna, that vipatti becomes his sampatti. Sampatti, you all know, that really becomes my asset if I can remember Krishna at that time. So the real purpose of a human form of life is always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. That is what the purpose of our sadhana bhakti, what our regulatory principles we are following. We have to mold our life in such a way that we never forget Krishna. That's what the sadhana bhakti is all about. Nitya Bad and Nitya Mukt Jeev, eternally conditioned and eternally liberated Jeev. What is the difference? Eternally bound Nitya Bad Jeev is ever forgetful of Krishna, and eternally liberated is never forgetful of Krishna, always remembering Krishna. And sadhana bhakti means going from eternally bound to eternally liberated, from Nitya Bad to Nitya Mukt. This is what is our sadhana bhakti is. From false ego to real ego. That is what the sadhana bhakti is. That's why these 64 regulatory principles of sadhana bhakti is, that we should always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Okay. So this is the challenge we have to face. But for a non-devotee, Maya, how Maya tricks a non-devotee. Krishna does not exist. Everyone is God. No clear conception of God. Why should I surrender? These are the different ways the Maya checks non-devotees. And once we take to devotional service, Maya never gives up. Maya never gives up. Maya is also, Maya is serving Krishna tirelessly. Maya just wants to assure that a genuine devotee goes back to Godhead. Maya is like a custom officer, genuine, thoroughly checking up. And how Maya checks us, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj says, this material world is like a testing ground for all of us. Testing ground. We are tested like a automobile when it comes out in the market. It is thoroughly tested, thoroughly, in all kinds of conditions, bumping, dumping, everything. When it has come out successfully, then okay, tested. Similarly, a living entity trying to perform devotional service in material world, thoroughly tested, and we very much glorified, very much humiliated. All kinds of condition. In all conditions, we is chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Then okay, ready, fit to go to back to Godhead. Ups and downs will surely come. Ups and downs will surely come in everyone's life. Our personal life, our health, our profession, our spiritual life, family life. Ups and downs are bound to be there. In all the ashramas, in all the stages, this is what the material world is designed like this. Because it's a testing ground. It's a kind of testing ground. We have to come out the test, pass this test, And, Maya keeps us bound. Maya has different tricks. It's in the 11th canto, very nice example is given. Very nicely describing our condition. Just imagine a prisoner. Okay, the prisoner is there, and in that prison wall, one window is there, and the bars are there. So the prisoner is holding those bars and looking outside, and he can see the children are playing, open atmosphere, very nice atmosphere. You see, what a life, They are all playing, going around, they are all free. Okay, wow. And you can also go, sir. The door is open. We can open the door. You want to go out? Yeah, I know. I appreciate. It's very good. But please, okay, we can open the door for you. Yeah, I appreciate, but let me see. Yeah, I'll see. I'll go. One day I'll go. No problem. I'll go. But let me be here. I have so many things to take care. And recently I have painted this wall in the prison. Let me see. And recently I purchased new furniture also. Yeah, outside world is real life. This is good. I have to go back to Godhead. I know this is the real purpose of my life. Okay, then hurry up. Yeah, I know. I have to go. Don't push me so hard. I know I have to go. You see, I'm intelligent enough. Okay, please don't push me so hard. I'll go. I really appreciate. That is what the condition is. We all are like this. Holding the bar, appreciating the world. Okay, kabhi habe wo din amar. When that day will come. That day has come. You just go out. No. Let me see. Prabhupada was asked, how many lives it will take to become Krishna conscious? Prabhupada said, 1 second. No, Prabhupada, really, how many lives? 1 second. Prabhupada said, 1 second. Just take 1 second. Very emphatically, Prabhupada, the question is being repeated 2-3 times. Again, 2-3 times, Prabhupada is saying, 1 second. Just take 1 second. You know, we have to just really wish I have to go back. 1 second. Okay. So, dear devotees, don't mind. I'm just sharing my heart. It's not that I don't say that I'm just, bombarding with all of you, all these things. I'm just, we are all in one family, one boat only. And fortunately, that boat is the lotus feet of Krishna. We have to just stay on this boat. We have to just stay on this boat. We are so fortunate, And we don't have to do anything, unnatural. Just stay on the boat. We have to just follow Prabhupada's process. Just follow, and everything will be there, because Prabhupada said, just chant 16 rounds, follow 4 regular principles, you'll go back to Godhead. So we have to just ensure that, So how will you do that? The best thing is, Prabhupada says, the most secure place in the creation is association of devotees. Most secure place. Because when we are in association of devotees, we are really secure. What happens when you are association of devotees? How many of you have felt you are really secure in the association of devotees? How did you feel? Let me have your experiences. Any one of you can share your experience. How do you feel secured? What kind of security you get in the association of devotees? Any one of you can unmute.
If I leave my body, I have one devotee who will actually speak the holy name into my ears, probably at the last moment.
Yeah, very good. Ante Narayana Smriti. So if I remain in association, If I remain in association of devotees, someone will come and chant Hare Krishna in my ears. Thank you. Very good. Anyone else, please?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Most times I felt the security, when you're in association with devotees, you take it for granted, I guess, that security. When you go out of that association and spend some time elsewhere, then you feel a rush to come back for the association, basically.
Yeah. Sometimes you start taking the association of devotees for granted.
Yeah.
Right.
But yes, as you said, that security is what actually keeps you going forward, basically, for even every single thing, every simple thing also. That's keeps you moving forward.
Yes. Anyone else, please? Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes,
I feel in association of devotees, whatever we do, whatever chanting or whatever we perform services, I think that would be easy in the association of devotees. That is what I feel. But when we stay away from the devotees, it would be, even chanting would be difficult. Doing any kind of service, whatever it may be, it would feel that is very difficult.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Association,
Good. In the association of devotees, we chant, so we remain secure. Ekaki amar nahi paye. Alone we just cannot fight with Maya. Impossible. Anyone else, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam.
Yes, Prasad. Yes.
I always feel that whenever I'm going out of track, this association putting me back in the track.
Yeah, wonderful. Yes. Realigning,
Yeah, realigning. That's what I feel.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Yes, Sanjay.
So these 2 days keep me motivated for the rest 5 more days. So to keep me going. So
super.
Thank you so
vaccination,
much.
Double vaccination. Yeah. The real vaccination.
Every Saturday and Sunday and Ekadashi, these 3 days in a week, we have this morning class from special speakers. So it is like we keep waiting when it will come.
Yes, very good, wonderful.
I'd like to add one
Anyone
thing.
else? Yes, Prabhuji. Lilananda Prabhu.
Yeah, Mataji, somebody was saying.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Whenever I will be in the association of devotees, I feel very much secure. And if we have some confidence in some of the devotees, we can share our problems and we can get so many solutions. And at the end of the day, that pravachan or some session or some Hare Krishna chanting, it keeps us so much motivated and for all the other days.
Yes.
That's what I feel. It's my experience.
Good. Exact. Thank you so much, Madhu. Thank you. Very nice realizations. Yes, Lilananda Prabhuji.
Yeah, Rosie, my realization, I would like to add my son's experience here. I have two
Yeah.
sons. One is in 10th grade and 9th grade. So I mean, they chant once in a while, but they do. They are part of the satsang and they keep seeing what we are doing. For the last 12 years, they're seeing. From the time they gained any consciousness. So recently, we went to a marriage.
Acha.
In a relative's place, and
Yeah.
we rarely go actually, because not many people call us anymore. But we went there, and my sons were sitting beside me, and everybody is sitting in the marriage, and they're so calm, looking at that, that mandap like this. And suddenly my son told, Nana, all of them look so lifeless. Our satsangs, everybody's full of life. So I was also feeling that way, like in the association of devotees, there's so much life. So everybody wants to say something about Krishna, share their experience, share the glories of Prabhupada, some festival, Abhishekam, Kirtan, dance. Itna sab kuch, we have become like worse than party animals, like
Yes, yes.
we just can't take anything lower than this. So,
Yes,
so when you go in association of non-devotees, it's like boring. ये क्या बात कर रहे हैं? Yeah,
yeah. It's a torture. Yes, it's a torture. Good. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And that's why Mahaprabhu was asked, who is a Vaishnava? Mahaprabhu said, Asat Sang Tyag, a Vaishnava. You have to remain away from the association of non-devotees. Yes, Satyadev Prabhu, you want to say something?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam.
Pranam.
Prabhuji, earlier when before Corona, when we used to have physical association, it's always like the whole week I'll be hankering for that association.
Yeah.
And when once we have that association and Sunday program, then the energy for the next 1 week will be there. Otherwise, if there is no satsang, means like complete energy will be lost. And
Yes.
then always generally my colleagues also used to ask, oh, how was your weekend? You have had some relaxed time? And no, I'm fully busy on the weekend. So it's like a spiritual busyness and then material busyness. So the whole week I'll be busy 10 to 14 hours working on a software side. And then on that weekend where really we have satsang, that is our actual tonic for to remain alive for the next 1 week, Prabhuji.
Yeah, weakness ends, spiritual weakness ends. Weekend. Good. Yes, Ayyar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Prabhuji, I feel that whenever some critical problems comes in our life, association of devotee is the only solution.
Yes.
Because none of the doctors, scientists, teachers of the material world could give the solution for that. At least in my life, I have seen such things happening when some critical problem, like my father expired and a devotee came and showed me the path. That's where I could realize and start this process. So in that way, whenever some critical birth, old age, death, disease comes, none of the material things can give us other than association of a devotee.
Very nice, Prabhuji. Very good point. Very good point. Revealing your heart in the association of devotees solves all the problems. Thank you so much. Thank you. You see, we all have experience. Yeah. Anyone else, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam.
Yes.
Prabhuji, that association is like we feel security like a child goes into the dark room, right? And father is behind.
Yes.
Right. So he has no fear. He can go in that dark. So similarly, like devotees, whatever the darkness, whatever the situation, if devotees are behind us, then there is no fear in all situations. So we have that that capacity or capability to wear all the inauspicious things.
Thank you so much. Yeah, very good. So what happens in the association of devotees? They remind us what is the goal of life. They remind us. All of you must have experienced from Monday to Friday. We are all in a different world. Different world. Sometimes our priorities get changed. We get so much influence because we are marginal potency. We should never forget. We are marginal potency. We should never be overconfident. I am in Krishna consciousness. No, I am really struggling. We are marginal potency. We can be influenced by both the sides, internal potency as well as external potency. And external potency is always going side by side. At your service, sir. At your service. Whenever you want to forget Krishna, I am at your service. Please, please. Maya is always alluring us. Always alluring. Please come, please come, please come. Take some rest, take some rest. While you're chanting also, every day we feel, I think you're feeling thirsty. You should drink water. Go out, lie down for a few minutes. Then you'll be able to chant with energy. every time Maya is giving us options. Every moment to moment we are being tested. Okay. But when it comes to the association of devotees, we are reminded what is the goal of life. And then we realign, like you're driving a car, a day will never come, oh, enough of driving. I have to travel a distance from 300 kilometers. I've already traveled 275. Let me just relax. No, I can never live steering till I reach my destination. So I can never take a chance. I'm now an old devotee, experienced devotee. I know everything. What are the tricks of Maya? I can take a chance. No. So association of devotees always keep on reminding me, and always keep on realigning myself. Vaishashika Prabhu says very nice thing. The main thing is, you can please note it down. The main thing is to keep the main thing always the main thing. Main thing is to keep the main thing always the main thing. The world is so bewildering. Our priorities change. So in the association of devotees, when we reveal our heart, we realign our priorities. I'll share with you one practical experience. I had a very nice friend. He was my office colleague. We came in Krishna consciousness almost together. And we were really together, always together, chanting, dancing, doing preaching, everything, book distribution, everything. I joined full time. He couldn't join. He had some family constraints, but he was still pursuing. All of a sudden, he started associating less. So I was wondering, what he started. He was working in a public sector. I was also working in public sector. I thought my job is a transferable job. Let me do what I do. I should do MBA now. Okay, I'll do MBA. Then I'll go for a private job. I'll be always stationed in Delhi. So then I'll always be in association of devotees. He decided on his own. He started doing part-time MBA. Now the part-time MBA is it is over-enduring, kind of over-enduring. Job, part-time MBA, assignments, all that. Slowly started moving away from the association of devotees. And he got blocked totally went away. I really lost him. Then I used to call him, start picking up my phone, because once we go away from the association of devotees, we start associating with materialistic people, our priorities change, and slowly, we may not be following the regularity principles so strictly. And then we are reminded, what I have done. Then there's a lot of guilt, a lot of hesitation to again come back. What will they say? I used to preach. What will my counselor will say? Oh, जी आप कहाँ चले गए? आपके साथ ऐसा हो गया. How did I face the devotees? So all those things come. And I was pursuing him. And one day, finally, I got a message from him. He changed his phone number also. And he said, really, I'm really feeling miserable. I'm really remembering you. And then we met. He really cried. And now he's come back. I really prayed for him, and now he's come back. And one more incident was there. One more person was there. He was very fired up devotee. And he had some family issues, not going along well with his wife. But he was pursuing Krishna consciousness nicely. Wife was not supportive. Again, he was in the association of devotees. But coming in the association of devotees, we should reveal our heart also. That person was not revealing his heart. And what happened? The family crisis increased, and slowly, he started associating more with his office people. And he said, and slowly, he just went away. Again, after a few years, because once we have tasted the nectar of Krishna consciousness, nothing of this material world can satisfy us. Nothing of this material world. Krishna is so rasraj. Once we have tasted this nectar, we'll find everything, tasteless. Everything tasteless. However hard we may try, and Krishna ensures, you want to leave me? I will never leave you. I will ensure that you won't be able to enjoy this material world. A materialist may be able to enjoy, he may seem to be enjoying, but a devotee who has once tasted the nectar, he will never be able to enjoy. So again, he also came back and is struggling. So it's very, very important to always remain in the association of devotees. And association of devotees means we should have some 2 or 3 good friends with whom we can really share our heart. Really, we should be as it is. in front of that person. No mask, nothing, no mask. As it is, we should be just revealing our heart, because Maya is very, very tricky. Maya will say, "Nahi, nahi, nahi, yaar, what?" He'll give the same solution. I know he'll give the same solution. Why should I tell my problems? I'll handle. No, we should always have some senior devotees, more experience. Everyone needs this kind of care, and people are so fortunate you have such a nice sangam, so you should make full use of that. Okay, so association of devotees, we really secure. What are the advantage in association of devotees? When we reveal our heart, we are very secure. We are reminded of our goal of life. We can always realign ourselves. We always can keep the main thing always the main thing. So that's it. Okay. You see, when you are in the other thing is, you say Krishna, one name is Achyut. Okay, Achyut means Krishna never fails. Krishna never fails in bestowing his mercy. So in this material world, it cannot be improved. Sometimes Maya tricks us. Let me first improve my material conditions, and then wholeheartedly I'll give myself to Krishna. Many devotees plan like this. Okay, you see, now I'm around 35. Okay, yeah. So what will I do is, for the next 10 years I'll earn a lot. Okay, and when I'm 45 I'll retire, and then I'll join full time, and then I'll do a lot of preaching. Okay, for the next 10 years I should have enough bank balance. Okay, so for that now I have to really earn a lot, right? Okay, so my focus has not changed. For this 10 years, I'll be earning more money, more overtime, more business, side business, this business. Somehow I'll manage 16 rounds, minimum I'll manage 16 rounds, 4 levels, I'll just manage. And my focus is now this, What do you say is a good option? Why not good option? He's a very wonderful plans. After 10 years, I'll join wholeheartedly, I'll serve Krishna. What is this, Prabhuji? 8 hours office, then going back, then chat. I'm fed up with this. 10 saal pura fadafat kar lo, short sprint, and then after that, wholeheartedly I'll be serving 24 hours. I'll be serving Krishna. Just matter of 10 years. How is the option?
Very dangerous, Prabhuji. Very, very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Yeah.
Very dangerous. Trust no future, however bright it may be. Prabhupada used to say. Trust no future. Be present in the present. It's like, Prabhupada says this sadhana bhakti is devotional service in practice. So it's a kind of net practice. Before being selected for a cricket team, we do net practice, So it's a kind of a net practice. If I am practicing well, my future is bright. Okay. Improve your present, future will always be improved. Don't plan so much for future. Whatever we are, presently, I should be giving my best to Krishna. Next moment, I may or may not survive. Whatever I have, presently, I have to wholeheartedly, I have to give my complete self to Krishna. With my body, with my mind, with my words, my whole heart, I have to give it to Krishna at this moment only. What we do is, now I am not able to chant this around properly. Someday will come when I will be able to chant nicely. No, this is the moment. That moment has come. One day will come, I'll be able to serve devotees nice. No, this is the moment. I have to give my best to the devotees. This is the moment. This is the moment. Next moment, I can't believe I may or may not be there. So whatever present moment is there, I have to give my best. I have to completely absorb myself in the Krishna consciousness. Sometimes what happens is we perform Krishna consciousness very ritualistically. We got used to it. Oh, the chanting, the same association, same thing, same philosophy. No. You really give our heart at each and every moment. Giving our heart. This is the, once we start absorbing ourselves in Krishna consciousness, the power of absorption. Once, His Holiness Sachinand Swami Maharaj asked His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, in one word, please describe the success formula for Krishna consciousness in one word. And Radhanath Maharaj immediately said, absorption. Absorption. So all of us are different. We all have different natures. We should be honest with ourselves. Okay, I am like this. What is the best way I can serve Krishna, Prabhupada and Krishna? We should ask ourselves. Okay, and take the help of our senior mentors. Okay, what is the way I can contribute in this movement? What are the things give me the most absorption in Krishna consciousness? We should find out and absorb ourselves in that, because when we get ourselves absorbed, the fluctuations of this material world won't disturb us. This is the power of absorption. When you're not absorbed in Krishna consciousness, a little fluctuation will divert us. It's like, ocean, Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, it's an ocean. Those aquatics who live on the super periphery, on the surface of the ocean, and sometimes, this crude oil, they, just throw away the crude oil on the sea. So it makes a film on the top layer of the ocean. So all those aquatics who live on the top layer of the ocean, they die. But the aquatics who are down deep, they are not affected. Similarly, if we are deep in Krishna consciousness, if you are totally absorbed, the superficial fluctuations of this material world won't disturb us. I'll give you an example. In our community, we have a family, very rich family, and very wonderful devotees, father, son, mother, daughter-in-laws, all are initiated. And they used to contribute very nicely, financially also, and they were teaching also, distributing Bhagavad Gita's lot. Very wonderful family. 3 years back, they suffered huge loss, the amount of 100 crores. Everything was finished. They were cheated, everything was finished. They have lost everything. So they came to me, father and son, this thing has happened. So by Krishna's mercy, I gave them this advice, Prabhu, whatever has happened, it's all your destiny. Don't worry. Krishna is testing you. Now is a real time for you. This is good that you are coming, you are seeking advice. Anyone else would have, just blooped, gone in depression, heart failure, whatever it is. Krishna has given you so much of strength. Keep on following the process. Always remain the association of devotees, and don't fight amongst yourself. It is because of this, it is because of you, it is because of you. Sometimes that happens, we start blaming each other. I said, don't fight with each other, don't blame each other. Whatever has happened. Just stick to the principles. And they met Guru Maharaj also. He also advised them the same thing. And they continued. And the best thing was, devotees, you will be surprised. Every year in Gita Marathon, very enthusiastically, they used to distribute Bhagavad Gita. They used to distribute Bhagavad Gita around, on their own, they used to distribute around 25,000 Bhagavad Gitas, 30,000 Bhagavad Gitas. They had business contacts. They used to go there. So the year they suffered this loss, it was in the month of September or so. The same marathon, they again did the same amount of Bhagavad Gita. And they used to just visit there, all those contacts, and all their business associates used to be surprised. You have suffered so much of loss and you are still preaching. This is it. Yes, this is the power of devotee association. They were so absorbed in preaching, and they could overcome this crisis. I was so much, it really increased my faith in Krishna consciousness. I could see them practically before my eyes, everything happening. This is the power of absorption. So, such a big loss, but they could easily sail through. Okay. So that way, whatever we are doing practically now, presently, we should do with full absorption. And this absorption will save us from all kinds of crisis situations. Okay. You see, we should always remember this, that material life can never be improved and spiritual life can never be checked. Yeah? Material life can never be improved. There's no point in wasting our time in improving our material conditions. We'll get what is destined for us. And no material conditions can check our spiritual progress. Ahetu ki apratihata. Devotional service, bhakti is too powerful to be checked by any material condition. It's too powerful. It is from the internal potency of the Lord. It is the Swarup Shakti of the Lord. It cannot, nothing of this material world can check it. And we have practical examples. We have practical examples of Prabhupada disciples, His Holiness Jayapadaka Swami Maharaj. In such condition also, he's preaching. He's preaching. He's quoting verses. He's relishing Gaurang Leela. Once Maharaj came to our temple, and he was alone in the room. I was there. So I picked up the courage, and I asked Maharaj, what is the secret of your enthusiasm in such condition also? How you can keep your enthusiasm? So Maharaj was silent for a few seconds and said, Maharaj says, what can I do? Gaurang Leela is so nectarian. I cannot check myself. Whole life he has done this, and in the time of crisis also, it's not affecting him. It's not at all. Similarly, I see my spiritual master, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj. For the last few years, he's not keeping good health. But he's so much addicted to deity worship. Every day morning, he gets up in the morning and does deity worship. He's not even able to hold the lamp properly. He's struggling. But he keeps him going. Absorption. Krishna consciousness. So this spiritual life can never be checked. And material life cannot be improved. What happens is we exchange. It's like a small boy, small child. If you give him 2,000 rupees note, and some robber comes, and he sees the 2,000 rupees note in his hand, and he says, "Okay, take this chocolate, 10 rupee chocolate, and give me 2,000 rupees note." The innocent child will give. Similarly, we are also allured by the small traps of Maya. And we compromise on our consciousness, we compromise our devotional service. Now, Brahmand Brahmite Kono Bhagavanji, Guru Krishna Prasade by Bhakti Nata. We have this rare wealth. We should really keep it intact. We should never lose it. So material life can never be improved, and the spiritual life cannot be checked. And our real vipada is forgetfulness of Krishna. So we have to train our mind. Prabhupada says this Krishna consciousness means training of the mind. Abhyas yoga yuktena chet sana anyagamina. Whole day we have to practice that we remain focused. We should not let our mind wander here and there. We should not let, sometimes what happens is in our material life, especially in grasta life, so many urgent issues come. Urgency. This is urgent. Office task urgent, family problems urgent. So in this urgency things, we forget the important thing. This urgency will continue. This material urgency will always be there. The most important thing is to remain in the association of devotees and doing Shravan and Kirtan, chanting and hearing. You should never give up this chanting and hearing. This chanting and hearing are our real weapons against Maya. Real weapons against Maya. Maya has all kind of tricks, but this chanting and hearing we should never give up. What are the tricks? How many of you have felt sometimes tricked by Maya? Maya tricked you. How many of you have felt sometimes tricked by Maya?
All the time, Prabhuji, not sometimes. Sometimes I feel I'm trying to be Krishna conscious.
Every minute we will be.
Every second,
Every
Prabhuji.
minute, every second we will. Yeah.
No. You see, remember this, whatever makes us forget Krishna is Maya. It can be anything, it can be this, you see, it can be.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
मुझे कुछ बोलना है.
बोलिए.
ये आप मेरा ड्राइंग देख सकते हैं जो मैंने कंपटीशन को जीता है.
अच्छा, वाह, अच्छा.
कृष्णा जैसे गोवर्धन पकड़ता है वैसे ही गुरु हमें जब से प्रोटेक्शन के लिए छतरी पकड़ते और वो हमें कोरोना वायरस, टीवी और डोमेन और अर्थ से बचाते हैं और ये भजन कीर्तन करने के लिए बोलते हैं और हम जप करते हैं.
Wow, अरे वाह, very nice, very nice. क्या नाम है आपका?
सिद्धि।
सिद्धि, आप अपने दर्शन तो कराइए। जय सिद्धि माता की जय। Thank you, Siddhi. Thank you so much. Very nice realization.
They go to ISKCON Nasik, Prabhuji.
Oh, great, great, great. Thank you. Okay, what we are discussing, yeah, Maya has many tricks. You know, if someone has glorified too much, so it really gives us booms. I'm glorified so much. What a nice talk I gave. Oh, everyone is praising. Oh, forgetfulness of Krishna. This is Maya. If someone has insulted you, oh, how could you do that? How could you do that? Forgetting Krishna, Maya. You know, once, I went to my spiritual master and I was really agitated. I said, Maharaj, those people really insulted me in the meeting. It was too much. I was really very, very disturbed. Maharaj very coolly said, so what? So what you That means he said, why are you taking the things of this material world so seriously? We take small, petty things of this material world so seriously. Oh, he has praised me. Yeah, he has really identified me. Yeah, you know me by tattva. Yes. You're the only person who knows my tattva. Yes, very good. I am like this. Yes. No, if someone has praised us, someone has insulted us, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We take it so seriously. If someone comes to us, Prabhuji, आपके बारे में वो ऐसा कह रहे थे, हैं? ऐसा कह रहे थे. Oh, we take it so seriously. Someone has really said some bad words about me. So our whole chanting gets disturbed. How could he say like this? How could he say like this? It's so important. I am such a nice person and they could say so many things about me. No, whole chanting gets spoiled. How many of you have this kind of experience? That is, it happens sometimes or not?
You are 360-degree exposing us, Prabhuji.
No, Prabhuji, I'm exposing myself. I mean, sometimes I'm so foolish. I give so much of priority to these things. And we compromise our consciousness. We give up our Krishna consciousness for small things. These are tricks of Maya. And the finest trick of the Maya, most subtle trick of Maya, creating some misunderstanding between devotees. Creating a loop hole in our security ring. Association with devotees is our most security ring, creating a loophole there only. Destroying, cutting down our faith in the association with devotees, creating some misunderstanding. These are all tricks of Maya. Maya is really testing us. Are we really genuine? Do we really sincerely want Krishna? So we should be very, very vigilant, very, very vigilant. And we should practice our sadhana very, very vigorously, rigidly, and always in the association of devotees. Prabhupada says in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the trick is to always think of Krishna. Trick. Prabhupada uses this word, trick. You have to use this trick. Don't look at the world. World is too alluring. Don't look at yourself. I am this, I am this. Sometimes, we can kind of develop this kind of low self-esteem or kind of a guilt. I'm too fallen. I won't be able to practice Krishna consciousness. Probably you don't know. I'm full of anartha, so many lusty desires, this and that. I'm too unqualified. No, this is also Maya. You're forgetting Krishna. Don't look at yourself. Don't look at world. Just look at Krishna. Krishna is ever waiting. Krishna is ever willing. Krishna is ever working upon us. What? Krishna is ever willing. Krishna is ever waiting. Krishna is ever working. Krishna is Achyut. Krishna never forgets us. Krishna wants to bestow his mercy upon us. What we are is, we are always weeping, ever worrying. And what next W can be? Ever worrying, ever weeping. And any other suggestion? I just say ever what?
Ever hoping.
Ever hoping against hoping. So, nothing. Krishna is so nice. And Krishna is a reality. It's not an illusion. This material world is an illusion. Okay. You see, once, one disciple of Srila Prabhupada, Ishta Devi Mataji, She joined Krishna consciousness very late. So she was around 40 when she came in Krishna consciousness, and she was a very wonderful distributor, book distributor. In Boston, when she went to a mall, all of a sudden she fainted. She got a stroke when her age was 90. When she was 90, she was distributing books. And for distributing books, she went to a mall, and then there she got a stroke. She fell down, and then she was taken to the hospital. And when she was taken to the hospital, when she came back in consciousness, she forgot everything. She became like a little child. She didn't know what is her name, what she does, nothing. Just forgot everything. She didn't even know how to take care of herself. Totally forgot. Totally. You know, what is her name, how to eat, how to clean herself, how to go to the toilet, nothing. Everything gone. That was a brain stroke, severe brain stroke. So His Holiness Niranjan Swami Maharaj came to know of this. So he got very sad. He called up the hospital. The personal attendant nurse picked up the phone. And he said, "Can I speak to the Mataji, Ishta Devi?" So the nurse told Mataji, "Some Niranjan Swami wants to talk to you." The moment she heard Niranjan Swami on the phone, she said, "Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram." What a surprise. Just imagine. She was not remembering her name, nothing. The moment she heard Niranjan Swami, she started like this. Hospital staff was surprised. Hare. And then Maharaj went along with his brahmachari, one brahmachari, to see her. So Maharaj said, "Hare Krishna." And the brahmachari was wearing this bead bag. What she did, she picked up the bead bag of a brahmachari, snatched it, and started chanting, "Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna." And the brahmachari was, "Hey, give Maharaj, these are my beads." Maharaj, "I'll give you one more bead, don't worry." Take a letter. Let her take this beads. This is the power of Krishna consciousness. Whole life she was practicing. Whole life she was practicing very, very nicely. So this practice, we have to take it very, very seriously. These moments will come in our life. These challenges will surely come in everyone's life. How we are practicing now, will be tested at that time. How deeply we are practicing, that will be tested at that time. So we should not be scared of all these things. We should not be afraid of all these things. Normally, no, every one of us, I'm really scared sometimes. What will happen to me when I grow old? What will be my health? How will my family members will be there? We have all this kind of anxieties. No, real anxiety should be that I should never forget Krishna. That's what the prayer by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavita ma jagadish kamaye, mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhaktir ahetuki tvai. I don't want anything of this material world. I just want that birth after birth. I just want your devotional service. I should never forget you, Krishna. That should be my prayer. And that should be my endeavor. And that should be the meaning of devotees association. Let the corona be there, corona may not be there. Let this everything is locked down or no lockdown, nothing can check devotional service. Nothing can check. If I am not able to get offline association, let me go for online association. Nothing can check it. We have seen this. In this corona time also, preaching has increased manifold. Now there are no boundaries. Now no one can stop this movement now. It has crossed all boundaries. No visa, no tickets required. It can cross all boundaries. So we have to just see things from this perspective. That samashitaye pad palam mahat padam punyasham nari. Then this material world will become what? It's like a big ocean. Ocean of miseries. Ocean of miseries. Ocean means unfathomable. Ocean means unlimited miseries. No one has the strength to cross the ocean on his own. What is required to cross the ocean? What is required to cross the ocean?
Shelter of Krishna's devotees. And
yeah, that's the boat. The boat is required. And boat is a lotus feet of Krishna. And lotus feet of Krishna means hearing and chanting in the association of devotees. That is our boat. Okay. So give our heart. We have to give our heart to this. And the material life, we have to just manage. Just manage. Like once, Srila Prabhupada was in Juhu. And we all know Juhu project was gave so much of anxieties to Prabhupada. And once Prabhupada was sitting like this, and he said, Prabhupada, what happened? Prabhupada said, this project is giving me a lot of headache. So devotees were very excited because all the devotees were really willing Prabhupada should give up this project. Prabhupada, why don't you give up this project? Prabhupada, no, I won't give up this project. Why, Prabhupada? This is giving you so much of headache. Prabhupada said, no, it is giving me bliss also. Bliss, headache and bliss? Yes, Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, yes. Prabhupada said, if I serve Maya, I get headache. But if I serve Krishna, I get a bigger headache. Then Prabhupada, bigger headache, then you give up? No. The headache I get by serving Maya gives me pain. But the headache I get by serving Krishna gives me bliss. So take more and more responsibilities. We have to take more and more responsibilities in Krishna consciousness. Take headache in spreading this movement. Otherwise, Maya will give us headache. Headache has to be there. This material world. Brahmaji had 4 headaches. We have 1 head, one have 4 headache. We'll get the headache. So better to take the headache of Krishna consciousness. Absorption means headache for Krishna consciousness. Take anxieties for Krishna consciousness. That is the best way to cross this material ocean of material world. We want to stay comfortably here, no problem. No one can be comfortable here. There are 2 options. Listen carefully. There are 2 options. You want to be comfortably miserable, or you want to be miserably blissful. Understood? Want to be comfortably miserable or miserably blissful? Which option will go for?
Comfortably miserable is still tempting, Prabhuji, but miserably blissful is what we want to choose. Yes.
But someone like to say, no, I want to be comfortably blissful. One last anecdote, then I'll stop. Once Indradam Swami Maharaj, when he was brahmachari, he got the opportunity to be the personal secretary of Srila Prabhupada. It was the first time. So he flew from US to London, first time. Very nice. He was really relishing the association of Srila Prabhupada. When the plane landed in London airport, he was very excited. It was Sunday. So today Sunday feast will be there. Those times, Sunday feast means, real feast. And other days used to be austere, but Sunday feast, 10, 20 items, a lot of dancing, Prabhupada's lecture, Sunday feast, wow. What happened was that president of London Temple came, a lot of chanting and dancing on the airport, and said, Prabhupada, we should go back now. The time is, the lecture time is coming close. Prabhupada said, my bag. So somehow the suitcase Prabhupada was carrying, it got misplaced. What should we do? The president said, okay, Prabhupada, you please come and leave this brahmachari here, this new brahmachari, new devotee. He'll bring the luggage. And Indradam Swami Maharaj was very disappointed. Everyone left. He was all alone in the airport. He had to wait for 3-4 hours. Big luggage, suitcase of Prabhupada. Night time, was all alone. Brought that suitcase to temple. What happened after, feast is over. Everyone is relaxed. Cleaning is going on. Wind up is going on. You can easily see the distinct difference between one who has taken prasad and one who has not taken prasad. He was really very frustrated, tired, hungry. He had all those aspirations, nothing worked. And but where is Prabhupada? He said the 4th floor. Where is the lift? Lift is not working. He had to, carry that suitcase on the 4th floor. And by the time he reached Prabhupada's room, was so frustrated, he just banged the door with his leg. And when the doors opened, Srila Prabhupada was standing in front. He just paid obeisances, Dandavat Pranam. And Prabhupada tapped on his back and said something and went away. And he got up. Prabhupada's other secretary, Nand Kumar Prabhu, his eyes were wide open. And Indradam Swami Maharaj asked, what did Prabhupada say? And Nand Kumar Prabhu said, Prabhupada said, as long as you're in this material world, there will be miseries. You want to be free from the miseries, go back to Godhead. So we are in this material world. When you are serving Krishna also, there will be such challenges. So we should not stop. We should keep on continuing serving Krishna in all situations. And then surely Krishna will take us back to Godhead. Guru will take us back to Godhead. If we just follow this process, diligently, not to give up. Always remember that the main thing is to keep the main thing always the main thing. There is no hope in this material world. It can never be improved. And there is no checking of the spiritual life. Nothing of this material world can check our spiritual life. Always remain in the association of devotees. Will keep us reminding us, and we can keep on realigning ourselves. That how, and then very easily we can cross over this. So sometimes we see, Prabhuji, maybe I may or may not be, I don't know, I have so many anarthas. No, Krishna has assured Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, Behavo Gyan Tapsa Puta Mad Bhava Magata, Veet Raga Bhai Krodha Man Maya Mamu Pashta. Behavo, many, before you, many have come. This is a time-tested process. Don't think I'm the first one who will be going back to Godhead from this material. No. Many have been released from this jail. Don't worry. Many people. So just Veet Raga Bhai Krodha. Give up fear, give up attachment, and perform Krishna consciousness nicely. Bhavo Gyan Tapsa Puta. Many have become purified and come back to me. So we can also be one of them. And Prabhupada has guaranteed us that we just follow the process in the association of devotees. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It was an amazing discourse, Prabhuji. Really, because one thing I must tell you, Prabhuji, but I don't know how to express this feeling that I was feeling that we have known you for a long time when you were speaking, like so familiar. Yeah, it didn't feel that we are hearing from somebody who's new. And the way you were speaking to us also made us feel that you're actually speaking to us. It's not like you're speaking something which is difficult to understand or doesn't apply to us. Every second of your lecture made me feel that you're seeing me in and out. And you're telling what is the most important thing to do. A reminder, a very, very strong reminder to lead spiritual life. Prabhuji, I have one question, Prabhuji, and I also request others to ask their questions. Prabhuji, it so happens that, in the initial time when we come to Krishna consciousness, we have this philosophy of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, which nobody else on the planet has spoken, just like Prabhupada has spoken. So it attracts us. Oh, really? I'm alive? Oh, I'm marne wala hu? Oh, these are the only 4 problems? Oh, I think I should become serious. So we start chanting. And then, you have Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmika, Adi Daivika, the fundamental philosophy of Krishna consciousness, which is introduced by the preachers. And then we start reading Bhagavad Gita, and we start also in devotees. And then devotees say, like Your Grace so nicely explained, how dangerous it is to go away from devotee association, how hopeless is this material world. All this philosophy is very much alluring, and it pulls you into Krishna consciousness. You start chanting, you go to 16 rounds, and sometimes you even get initiated, in the whole process. But Prabhuji, when you go away for some reason, any reason, Vaishnava Prad or your own conditions coming back, before or after getting initiated, doesn't matter, you just go away. Then this very same philosophy that you so clearly know, when someone repeats to you, it starts irritating you. It starts I don't know how to put that, It's like, क्यों बता रहे हो मुझे, मालूम है सब कुछ, तुम्हें मालूम है तो फिर ये क्या कर रहे हैं आप, मतलब सब मालूम है तुम्हें, ऐसे दूर क्यों जा रहे हो? मालूम है कि सत्संग अगर 2 हफ्ते नहीं आओगे, तीसरे हफ्ते को आना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा, जानते हो ये तुम खुद बता चुके हो, ये कर चुके हो, लेकिन you get irritated, when I go and talk to some devotees, please come back. Prabhuji, I know you don't have to tell me. I'm like, come on, Hare Krishna, ये इतना कैसे बदल गया, मतलब क्या किया मैंने अपराध किया है, किसने कुछ किया, ये इतना ऐसे क्यों हो जाते हैं? मतलब the very philosophy that has glued you to Krishna consciousness, that very philosophy is not, you're not ready to hear it, and you're not ready to understand it anymore. In this situation, what can you do, Prabhu? How can you help somebody?
Yeah, Prabhuji. Very nice point. And I'm also facing the same challenges. Sometimes it happens, Prabhuji, what my understanding is, most of us follow our heart, not the head. So philosophy remains in the head. And somehow when we are speaking, we are hearing also, it remains in the head also. Bahunam janmanam ante, from head to head, heart, it takes many lives. Gyanvan mam prapadyate. So Divya Gyan Hridaya Prakashita, not Divya Gyan Khopadi Prakashita. No? In comics we see one bulb lighting, no, the bulb should light here. So what happens is, that's what I was discussing in this session. We have to give our heart, not just head. We have to really give our heart to this philosophy, practice this philosophy. Sometimes, Prabhupada says the philosophy is simple, but application of philosophy is not so simple. In this social media age, we have surplus of information, but deficit of application. We're not able to apply. We have so much of exposure to information, so much. We know, I know this, but it remains in the heart, head only. And we all want spiritual, we all want emotional fulfillment. We all need emotion. But what happens in the beginning? We get an emotion of relief. From 45 degree, we are coming to 16 degree, Krishna conscious. What a relief. Wow. What a prasad, what kirtan, what philosophy. Ah, amazing devotees, amazing darshan. Wow, wow. What a relief from outside world to Krishna consciousness. This emotion of relief is there. But once you are in the association of devotees, a 16 degree temperature, then what new? Nothing new. Same, everything is same. So now, after getting the emotion of relief, this is what His Holiness Devami Swami Maharaj has written in his book Bhakti Bhav. Long back, small booklet is there, very nicely described. Now, so this emotion of relief now has to change into emotion of fulfillment. Otherwise, this is called midlife crisis in every devotee's life. The emotion of relief won't be able to sustain us throughout. Now we have to get emotional fulfillment with Krishna. So that way, now we have to chant deeply, we have to hear deeply, we have to everything with heart, apply our heart into it. And then some emotional reciprocation from Krishna will come. That will keep us intact in Krishna consciousness, not the philosophy. Philosophy will help us to come in Krishna consciousness, but to remain, that it should come in our heart. So that's why when the devotees leave, so that philosophy mat bata. I know philosophy. I couldn't get emotional fulfillment. So they can only brought back by love only. Give them prasadam, give them love, hear them, whatever they are saying, let them speak. And then slowly, Krishna never leaves them. So Krishna will teach them some lesson and they come back, either in this life or in next life. This is eternal. This is my understanding.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I mean, it is so painful, Prabhuji. When you see
it's
somebody,
painful. And it is, yeah.
When the person is leaving right in front of your eyes,
you
just can't do anything. You even hold their feet, it's not going to work. Sometimes staying away. You just have to go through that phase, and that is the most testing part of preaching, actually.
Yes.
Where
it's
not about effort gone waste, but the person, he's such a wonderful person. Everything was going right, and suddenly, and one of the primary reasons, especially in our software industry, fortunately, unfortunately, most of the people I preached are software engineers. In the last many years, the over endeavor aspect that you told in the beginning, that people they complicate their lives by adding more and more responsibilities. And then they say that I don't have time, and then they start decreasing the sadhana. That really is so difficult to explain.
So better to take more responsibilities in Krishna consciousness. If they want to take more headache in Krishna consciousness.
Hare Krishna. Any other questions, Prabhuji and Mataji? I know it's late for Prabhuji also, but
yes, Satyadev Prabhu.
Oh yeah, you can unmute you. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, it's almost like a similar questions regarding the what Lilan Prabhu said. Whenever we are preaching to our families and friends, they when we tell about the philosophy of ISKCON, they saying that it is too high. Maybe I am not able to understand this. Like Krishna is the supreme Lord. Let me be wherever I am. I am like I worship all the demigods, everybody. But it's too much high for me to understand right now. Even I'm telling so many examples, like whenever whatever I heard from preachers, and whenever whatever I heard from Lilananda, whenever I explain to them, they always say that oh no, it is too high for me. I cannot digest this fact. So how to tell Prabhuji, those people who says that this is too high philosophy?
Yeah, there can be many reasons, Prabhuji. Maybe they are not yet ready. They're not yet ready. So no one can be forced by Krishna's mercy only. So we can, we have to make Krishna consciousness very user friendly. Whatever aspect they can expect, they can apply. Feed them Krishna Prasadam. If they like to come in the temple and dance with the devotees, let them dance. Everyone likes to dance. I like to eat. Let them have Krishna Prasadam. Let them dance with the devotees. Nice kirtan. Let them appreciate the beauty of the deities. No, our endeavor should be not to defeat them, not to make them, force them to accept Krishna. Somehow start liking Krishna. Start liking, develop appreciation for the process. Then Krishna will pull them. Krishna is so attractive. He'll automatically pull them. We have to just bring them in that electromagnetic field, and Krishna will pull them. That's it. So let it be organic, no force.
Yes, Prabhuji. I mean, like one of my colleagues, he always, whenever we meet, we say Hare Krishna, and then he will listen to me. And then he says that, yes, I'm chanting Hare Krishna also. I'm chanting, Ganpati mantra and Dattatreya mantra. All the mantras I'm chanting, he will say.
No problem. At least he's chanting Hare Krishna. Krishna says, okay, now his journey has started.
Okay.
So then Krishna will take care. We have done our part, and keep on doing, keep on relishing him, keep on feeding prasadam, everything. One day will come and do that.
Okay. And Prabhuji, one more question, like how to, those are like elders, like my uncles and aunties who are very, aged, maybe some of them are 60 plus or 70 plus. How to tell them, like, sometimes I don't know how to convince them or how to teach them, even though they're coming from an Orthodox family, but they just worship all the demigods. So should I bring them to some like Shiksha Guru or some people, or is it okay to tell them?
No, you should not tell them. बोले कल का बच्चा मुझे पढ़ा रहा है. So don't mind me, but they won't listen to you. Just be nice with them and bring some devotees in your home and let them speak to them.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Ayer Prabhu and Prashad.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, I have a similar question to what Lilananda Prabhuji asked, and you concluded saying we should have that satisfaction. Personally, Prabhuji, my practice, I'm not feeling that satisfaction and happiness even while chanting or while doing deity worship. As you said, there is a relief, and we cannot go back to those material happiness, but we want to get that spiritual happiness, but we are unable to get. And recently I read this from the Living Name book of His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj, where he told it is shadow chanting what we might be doing. And that's what is not giving us happiness. So Prabhuji, can you please help us how we can get that happiness while doing spiritual practices also?
Yeah, Prabhuji. See, the basic mistake we make is we look for happiness. Spiritual practices are not for our own happiness. As long as we are looking for our own happiness, the happiness will keep on eluding us. We'll never get. Search for happiness builds eternal search for happiness. So it is for the happiness of Guru and Krishna. We are chanting for the happiness of Srila Prabhupada. So we have to change this. Forget about your own happiness. Just forget. I will just serve Guru and Krishna. Happiness will come. Happiness will be bestowed upon us. Now, when the gopis were serving Krishna, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says, happiness was imposed upon them. Like miseries are imposed upon us, happiness were imposed upon. Thopi gai jabardasti khushi. They didn't want. When they are serving Krishna, they don't want even a trace of their happiness for themselves. But it was imposed upon them. So we have to get rid of this mentality that I want to enjoy my chanting. I want some bliss from chanting. No, bliss may or may not come. I have to do my part. I have to chant to please Prabhupada. You know, Prabhupada's one disciple, what was his name? Who used to chant very nicely, Vishnujan Swami Maharaj. You know, while chanting, he used to keep one big photo of Prabhupada's ear. Why? Prabhupada is listening to my chanting. He used to keep that ear in front of him and chant. You know, it's for the player of Prabhupada's ear. That's all. So that way, Prabhuji, like all practices, serving, chanting, hearing, everything for the prayer of Prabhupada. Then bliss may or may not come. I'm not for my own bliss. As long as I'm looking for my own bliss, no bliss.
Okay, Prabhuji. I understood. Means still I'm thinking of the selfishness of my own happiness that I have to give.
Yeah. Easy to say, difficult to practice, but we can try.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Prasad.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam. Such a wonderful class, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for such a wonderful class. My question is related to the absorption, Prabhuji, because from morning 10 to evening 10, we'll be absorbed in a different activities, different things. But like sometimes we do remember Krishna, but many times doesn't remember. So when we are really absorbed to the different tasks which are really required attention, so how do you absorb in Krishna as well? It means how do you remember Krishna, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
It was a real challenge for me.
Yeah. You know, Jiva Goswami Pad says, whatever activities you are starting, if from the start of activity, you dedicate this activity to Guru and Krishna, that becomes devotional service. So if we are Arjuna was fighting on the battlefield. With full absorption, he was fighting. But he was completely dedicated to the will of Krishna. Okay. So whatever work you are performing in your office, completely dedicated to the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Whatever you are earning, it is for the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Whatever fame, whatever position you are having, it will be used in the service of Srila Prabhupada's mission. That's it. It's a devotional service. You know, devotees staying in Grihastha ashram, when they go out to their factories, go out to their work, they go out for Sankirtan. It's a Sankirtan. Jare dekho tare kaho, Krishna Upadesh. But whatever opportunities you get, wherever you get, preach to your colleagues, give some prasad, distribute books, introduce them to Krishna consciousness, remain in this spirit. So you will get a lot of opportunities. If you are absorbed in this, you will get a lot of opportunities. Here I can introduce Krishna consciousness. Here I can make something Krishna consciousness. That way.
Understood, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. It's almost 9 o'clock. I know you also have a schedule,
yes,
and
Prabhuji.
you have given us this time. Prabhuji, just one reflection I would want to give on how I've seen absorption in great devotees, Prabhuji. One of the best part of our spiritual life is yatras.
Yeah.
Especially Kartik Yatra,
Yes,
where I used to go and see some great sannyasis chanting beside Prabhupada's Prabhupada's deity in the temple, right? In Mayapur temple, you have it right opposite to Radha Madhav Prabhupada's deity, and beside that, all sannyasis sit in the morning, like from 4:30 to all the way, they sit, and when I see them chant, and how absorbed they are in that chanting, and even one of the most bewildering thing for me was His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj himself, when he used to come for doing arti in the morning, holding that big lamp in front of the deities. Many dhams, wherever Vrindavan or Mayapur, it so happened that I saw Maharaj many times. 4 o'clock in the morning, holding that big lamp and doing it. Maharaj age per se is so. He's crossed such a big age already. Physically, he's not, the perfect situation, but still he does every single day. And every single day I see so many sannyasis, Maharajas, they're sitting down and doing. Once Niranjan Swami Maharaj was saying that I finish my 16 rounds before Brahma Muhurta, and then I start my Mangalarti. And my God, I was like, boy, and he's been doing that for 20 years. They said, how, I mean, just this is what motivates us, that it's possible. Absorption is possible by being around these great souls. But we are really missing those yatras, like the battery chargers because of this corona, we're not able to see them physically. But yes, as you rightly said in the beginning, now Krishna conscious movement, nobody can stop, because now we know how to do it virtually also.
Yeah.
and hearing from you has definitely increased our absorption, my absorption. The remaining rounds that I'm going to chant, I'm going to remember what you told and try to apply. And I think it's very, very important we hear from senior devotees who reflect and show us our mirror. Darpan dikha dete hain aap ekdam se, that this is where you stand. I'm very, very grateful, Prabhuji. I'm very,
Thank you
very
so much, Prabhuji. And please forgive me if I've said anything inappropriate. I was just, it was everything I was revealing my heart's condition. So
we all would want to visit Delhi.
Yeah, please. In Delhi, actually, we have started meeting offline also. Devotees are coming, and now presently also one class is going on. All leaders have come. So somehow in Delhi we are meeting. In Hyderabad, it's not allowed.
It's meeting, but unfortunately, everything is happening except offices and satsangs. When we say satsang, people say, "Oh, Corona is there," but everything else they're doing. I'm not fighting.
Yeah, we go out in the market, so much of traffic jam,
exactly. Everything is happening, but when satsang comes, they remember, and office comes, they say, "Oh, office नहीं जा सकते क्योंकि Corona है." School नहीं जा सकते क्योंकि Corona है. Not but devotees are also desperate. And Prabhuji and Mataji on the satsang, we just decided that from next Sunday onwards, we'll have our evening satsang continuing. You can just let you know. Yeah. Physical satsang is starting. And how many hours? But Prabhuji, thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
You gave so much of your time, and you spoke. I requested you on this topic, and it could not have. I felt that it could have not have anyone better than you to put it this way, and so nicely, and really helped us. There is a problem statement, now there is a solution statement. You told Bahunam Janmana Mante is from head to heart. I'll remember that. That is the journey is, yes. Now it makes more sense. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Let's thank Prabhuji, Rukmini Krishna Prabhu, with loud and enthusiastic reaches him. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Jai Lilananda Prabhu ki jai. Samartha ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Gaur Premanande.
Hari Bol. Thank you all, Prabhuji and Mataji, for joining. Prabhuji and Mataji, I have a small request. Please join in the evening today. We are going to discover Bhagavad distribution. Now it's about time that we have to do. Another just 2-3 weeks left. Our target is 500 Bhagavatam sets, so don't get bewildered. Please come. Together we can do a lot of things. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Dhanavad.